heard little bits, and so I'm going to pick up from there with all of you. And the first thing is that, and not in a preaching way, I don't preach, I teach. So the first thing is, I know you know of spiritualism. I wonder if you recall, spiritual law has 7 parts. And I think they're so beautiful and appropriate, not only what I'm going to say, but what's going on here. And it's the law of love, the law of mind, the upper mind, the lower mind, which we're going to touch on, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of balance, the law of compensation, and the law of use. And just let those settle in there. Take it home with you. I'm using download angels. You'll find what place we may have been at earlier in your meeting. And something else I'm big on is spiritual teacher. I'm always driving people, be in spirit. That's what you do for each other. Recently I talked to some of the people here about come with me with intention, with your true purpose and spirit into 2015. So I know it strikes me curious that today's title was actually Entertaining the Ego Family. Rogues, Rascals, and Mischief Makers. I think you'll find some helpful tips tonight when you identify yours, but I want you first, I want you to be comfortable always. You get to decide when you're comfortable if you don't like to stand, but I'm also big on, in the auras, if we did the police line. So I had my ethereal, and then next closest is emotional, and then the mental before we go ad infinitum out. So a lot of us think I'm acting this way because somebody punched my emotional field, and actually we bring it in from this way. We have characters, and there's the ones that get in the emotional palette and color it. So I'm hoping part of the goal in the few minutes we have, because I know you're all tired, is to teach you how to balance, the law of balance. The first thing is that spirit has to move. You want to own your emotions. You've had a little sadness today, some challenges. So I want you to take control, and I want you to make your neighbor laugh. I want you to be comfortable. I don't care if you go up to Jim like this and go, come on, but I want you to stand up. Spirit's got to move. I want you to choose laughter right now, just for a minute. So those that can get up, get up. If hugging makes you giggle, that's fine. If you notice Now there's one more thing I've seen. Thank you to the healers and each of you to each other with making healing an intention. But I want to know, have you hugged your spirit today? I always recommend a mirror, but I don't want all the ladies digging into purses right now. Short on time. But I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that you have a mirror reflection. I want you to use your baptized name when I count to 3, after the count of 3, and I want you to say, I love and appreciate you. Spirit, rest in the eyes. This is how we hug spirit. We take our beautiful hands, we cup those beautiful cheekbones, and each day you look at spirit in the eyes. I'll use my name, and I would say, I love and appreciate you, Nancine. I love and appreciate you, Nancine. I love and appreciate you, Nancine. Now we're going to hear a lot of different sound bites, because on the count of 3, I want you to say, I love and appreciate, with your name, 3 times. That's going to hug your spirit to you. So I'm going to count to 3. If you have to close your eyes, that's fine, as long as you say it, all right? See your mirror. 1, 2, 3. I love and appreciate you, Nancine. I love and appreciate you, Nancine. I love and appreciate you, Nancine. Okay, now we're going to do the real talk. Okay. So why, I asked myself, isn't it curious, now you're going to take these people back into the mental when all you do is talk about spirit. As you know, and I know you know, the spirit and those angels and guides you connect with, and the sweet ones, that's what I call the deceased. On the other side, they're very quiet. The sweet ones are stubborn too, isn't that right, Sheila? But very quiet. And the mental part of us, I've heard a lot of spiritual teaching saying the whole goal is to get out of your ego. This comes right under the dog and the tail theory. I've had people say, oh, I don't have an ego anymore. Oh, gosh. Let me know when you come back to Earth, okay? It is the dog and the tail. In fact, those personality traits, that's what we really call it, you packed it up when you came here, as I packed up mine. Some of them are wonderful, kind people, good speakers, writers, teachers. And some of them are rogues, rascals, and mischief makers. It's the old stuff it in the bag, you know. Sit on the bag, take it all, off to Earth we came. Sorry. The thing is, we didn't pay a return. I don't like to share a swallow. I'm no George Carlin, so maybe also, he's probably coming in right now. So you got this here in the mental. What we did, instead of using it to serve us, just like any good vacation when you pack things, we just kind of dumped the whole bag, and those shadow personalities run wild. And when they do, it's not serving us anymore. It's not serving spirit. It's reaching into the emotional, and we're acting out and acting about. Now, if we can balance it, if we can allow spirit to lead, spirit to set the table, I want you to visualize when you have a celebration with your family members. One holiday or holy day is coming up soon. You do pretty much the seating. You would say, oh, Nancine, why don't you sit over here? Don't sit too close to Sheila. And you know how to do that. You set the table. So this is what I want you to do with these rogues, rascals, and mischief makers. The first thing I want you to do is to love them and move beyond, I want to get rid of it. I don't want to have this anger. Everything in our universe is co-opposites. And you can't be a peaceful person unless you know anger and upset. And even in the anger, those here, I don't know if the fellow's here that does the aura photography, that red of anger can be channeled into passion. So your whole mind is beautiful. And I really want people to get away from that, like, oh, you've got to learn to be less angry, you've got to, and we're spending all that time doing that, and spirit can't soar. But if spirit can set the table and say, I'll take that, and I'll put these two together, and rather than just talk about that, I want you to know one of the first things you got to do is name them. You know when they arise before they dip into the emotion. Here are some of the peeps that I work with. I have Clara the Coward. If anything comes in my mailbox that says United States government, she's oh my God, the government. It might be a check and I don't know until I calm down. Very weak. Doesn't like to go to jury duty. Oh, don't take me there. I have Benny the Bean Counter. Benny will spend 3 hours deciding to buy a Kindle version of a book. It's only $11.99, Benny, just press the button. Au contraire, I have Sarah shop online. Ka-ching the car, ka-ching the car. I hope you see where I'm going, is if I can blend them. If I could take Benny the Bean Counter, and I know that's in my personality, in my luggage, that's why we call it baggage, and blend it with Sarah, maybe she won't hit that button so often. Because she has her value too. I wouldn't have any new things. I wouldn't have these divine blue shoes. So there is a benefit. And we get to choose if we get back to letting spirit lead. I have Mad Dog Meyer. That would be the drop the bone. And here's a good example of going in the emotional field. Mad Dog will just be kind of laying around there in that mental field and get bored and come on into the emotional field and get angry about something. Something small that was being watched by I don't know who. And not let go of the bone. Days, weeks. Won't let go. Now what if I paired Mad Dog Meyer a little bit more with Clara the coward, whose strength is she's very meek. She's very loving. If I blend that, that's a pretty good combination. So this is what I want you to do as well. I really, really want you to know when it's coming in. I don't want people to be pointing out there and saying, Nancine, you ticked me off. This is very good for all of you today with healing. You pushed my button. You're right. I'm wrong. Get off that teeter-totter and just see, who are these people? Years ago, there was a visual I have of, I think the man's name is Art Carney, and he was sitting with headset in an easy chair in a living room. And the kids were running around, screaming, and the wife was nagging at him. And he had these things on, and they did the little, what he's thinking was, who are these people? What are they doing in my living room? And that's very much how we want to work with personalities, the rascal part. Because they are good, and your whole mind is beautiful. You've got to set the table correctly every day. I also, when I think of something, and they'll change, just as changes happened here, they'll change, but not the strong ones, like Mad Dog Meyer. I must have just shoved that one in the case when I came and kept it there. But genuinely, you can't tame them unless you name them. And if you don't tame them, you're not going to hear spirit. You can join together, pray together, heal together, but you're not going to hear those little voices that say, hey, I love you. You're beautiful. You're just so beautiful. And I will always, always love you the way you are. Name them. Set your table. Let the ego and its group of rascals, as well as your sweet peas in the ego field, serve and fill your purpose rather than puff up and misguide you. Don't let them spread out like that. You deserve. Let spirit lead. Have a wonderful meal every day. Thank you.